Hey, it's Jeff at 650 Cycle, and I'm out here today working on the XS Cafe. It's been a little while. I had a lot going on in the last couple weeks, so back at it today. Got a couple things I'm going to work on. I'm not always a big fan of making a list, but sometimes it keeps me focused, and I wrote this down a couple days ago to kind of keep myself on task with what I got going on. And today we're going to work on the seat mount, we're going to work on the blinker mounts front and rear, and we're going to work on the headlight mount. Let me show you what we got going on there. This headlight mount is a universal fit headlight mount, and it fits like a universal headlight mount. It's a little loose in spots and tight in spots. I need to tweak that a little bit, get that where it needs to be. The other thing I'm going to try to do is to use these blinkers as my headlight mounts. The bolts holding the headlights in. That way all the wiring gets tucked inside like it should. Out back, I'm going to also use these back here. I figure somewhere in here I have some tabs I'm going to weld on and get that done. Then the seat needs done. The front needs a strap put across there for this latch to hook onto, and then I need to put some bolts in the back seat frame on the inside frame, on the interior of this hoop, so that I can bolt it on and it will be secure. That's my goal for today. I don't know if I'm going to get all of it done or not. We'll see. And I'm not feeling overly motivated, but I do want to get to these. I do need to keep moving on this. So that's what we're going to do. Let's hit it. So the back blinker mount. I'm going to do that first because I think that's going to be the easiest, and that's kind of how I usually work, is easiest to hardest. That way I at least get something done. What I have, and it used to be a weight bench, and I don't even know how long I've had it. But if you look, my holes are already drilled. There's a nice shape to this that I'm thinking can follow this line right here. Not that you're going to see it, it'll repaint it black and whatever, but it is going to work, and all I got to do is cut it off and weld it on. So again, that's super easy thing to do. And I've got two of them, so I could use any one of these probably, but I think I'm going to use these up here. So let's get to that. Suppose I'll do it the right way and take some measurements. I put this up there to see about where the top of that was going to be. So I kept the top of it off of that just a little bit so that that's not going to bump into anything. Not that I think it would, but just to be sure, so that we've got plenty there, and that'll be more than enough if I cut it right there. That's a pretty stout piece right there. It'll work great. All right, so they're pretty straight this way. They're pretty much in the same place. Not saying they're perfect, but they're pretty close. And then when we look this way, we're seeing parallel with the ground kind of thing. I know the bike's not sitting parallel, but I think they're sitting parallel with the bike right now. So again, I think we're pretty close. And I just got them tacked because I can't weld. So Alex is going to come over and finish them up for me. Now I'm going to go onto the seat mount. I already got my front strap figured out, positioned. I had to notch out here because I had to push it forward so that I could get my battery in. One thing leads to another. Now I'm going to tack it down, and then I can do the back. Got her tacked, solid. Jamming out to a little Johnny Cash this morning. Alright, here's where I am at right now. I got the seat mounted. I can put a strap across the front, welded some nuts on there. It doesn't sit quite as low as what I was wanting. I didn't want that gap right there, but I think it'll be alright. I have the tabs mounted, just tacked on there. I'm going to do some more fine tuning. Once Alex gets over here, we can tweak them a little bit more, because I'm not doing very good with the welder today. It's not my thing, not my strength. So a little bit of change of plan in that I wanted to do this front end and mess with these, but I got this today, which is my fuse panel, which needs to be put on this particular, needs to be replaced right there. I ordered a 6 instead of a 4, just so there was a couple extras, but this needs to be put on there, so I think I'm going to start working on that, because this wiring harness needs to go in there. Right now, pretty good progress where it's sitting. I'm happy with what I got done. I really want to get this wire harness going, so I think I'm going to work on that and see where everything falls, because this wiring harness gets laid in there and then I can actually start this bike. So I don't think I'm going to get that far today. We'll see. Well, I got the wiring harness done. I got the box on the harness. I've got a buddy that does high-end, fancier car ones, uses a higher end box and uses pin connectors in it. This is obviously just crimped on in there. I'm not crazy about using crimp-ons, but I tried soldering and it just wasn't working right for some reason for me. So I went with the crimp-ons, and they're holding snug. Tied them down a little bit. Once I get it in the bike, we'll see exactly where it sits. Let me show you where it goes. So it's going to live in this box somewhere, and I say that because if I put it here, it sits this way and you can't hardly get the cover off. You can, but it's a little difficult, and if you need to replace a fuse, you don't want to be struggling with that. So what I may end up doing is sliding this sideways here and then putting it down in here, the fuse block, just so that you can actually easily get the cap off of it. We'll see once I get everything in here. This one, this wiring harness was just put in here to kind of mock things up. It's coming out and that other one's going in. So I think supper's ready and I am pretty much done for tonight. So maybe tomorrow morning I can get out and I can get that harness laid in here where it needs to go and reconfigure this, whatever needs reconfigured here, to get everything accessible. Don't need access to this really all that much. So putting it to the side and putting the fuse box there makes a little bit more sense. So we'll see what happens once I start messing with it tomorrow. But done for tonight. Let's take the carbs off. I can't get my fingers in there. Alright, what I have run into is that I had the wire harness on here before I put my battery box in, and my fuse block is not going through the hole that I have cut. So I'm going to have to disconnect this front end of it, let it drop down, and then I can get this through. Not a huge deal, but a little more than what I wanted to do. There, I had to drop the whole box down, which might be better because I might have to move the ECU box in there. There we go. The old wire harness is out. The reason I didn't use this one is because it was cut right here. I have to reposition the bike. I need to get this. I guess I don't have to take this out, but I wanted to paint this strap right here right now because there's nothing else going to be welded up here. I need to do some cleaning because there's just stuff everywhere. It's pretty dusty, so I want to kind of vacuum this off. I guess I don't need to completely move it. I was going to turn it around and take that tire off and get this out, but I guess I don't have to. And then I got to lay the harness in here, and then I can get this battery box back up. I don't think I'm going to be able to move that ECU over to where I wanted. This goes right next to it. It's as far forward as it can go, and the ECU is still covering up that hole, so I don't think I'm going to be able to move it like I wanted. We'll see. Alright, I'm at the fun part where I'm spreading this wire harness back out. Two locating areas are the coils, so I got those on there. The problem I'm going to have is that I've got some extra boxes that I did not have on the other one. This is the harness that was cut.
So I'm going to have some, I think this is the piece that was cut. I'm going to have some of these types of things that I don't have a place for right now. So I'm going to have to figure all of that out. But I think once I get everything shoved in where it needs to go, yeah, I don't think that'll go through there. Once I get everything shoved in where it needs to go, I think we'll be all set. So I'm going to start shoving. Very interesting. Yeah, I got some interesting stuff going on here. Alright. We'll back this up a little bit. What I'm trying to do is see where these are modules or things that need plugged in, and this is the harness, so I'm trying to find the plugs to these things and get them located. Ooh, that's way back up here. Yikes. That can't be back up there. That's got to be something else. Yep, okay, that goes in there. Alright, you can see the natural bend of it right here, so this is about in the right position, and it stretches up there. I think what I'm going to try to do is run it underneath this coil, and then that's a natural hold down for it there. This control hooked in there. There's obviously a lot not hooked up. My fuse box is not sitting at all like I had hoped, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm not happy with it. I don't like where it's sitting, but there's not much I can do with it because of where it has to sit. I'm going to have to figure that one out. I've got a couple modules that are just kind of hanging here that I have to find a home for somewhere, somehow. But everything else is pretty much hooked up. I could come and hook all of this stuff up in the headlight. Let me see. This particular connector has some stuff falling off of it, but this is what hooks into it, so I can kind of tell where it's supposed to go. I just got to fix that. See, this probably goes into there, but it's all got to tuck into there. So, oh, there, that is what goes in there. Awesome. Yeah, just not happy with that thing at all. I really should move this to the back, but this is the starting solenoid. It really needs to be right there. This could go elsewhere, but I don't know where else to put it. It doesn't fit sideways because of this, and I can't really move this too much further, so got some thinking to do on this one. The other thing I'm doing today is I'm hunting wabbits. Get the old pellet gun out. I live in a residential city, and they don't want you shooting firearms, and you can see why. I got houses all over the place. But I have garden back here, and the bunnies really like to eat my garden. And this morning I saw 3 bunnies when I was sitting in the house. So I've kind of been keeping an eye out for them and trying to make sure that I don't have the little bunnies eating my garden. So that's what that's for. It's just a high-powered pellet gun. I got to get back to this and get everything hooked up and try to figure this out. I'm just not happy with that. I should have just stuck with the 4. The 4 would fit so nice right in there. It really would. Much better. So, have to figure something out. Well, friends, I think that's it for me today. I'm kind of out of time. I got some other obligations to take care of. So, that's as far as I'm going to get. I did get everything tucked up underneath the tank here. I'm not worried about scratching the paint, so fine, do it. I did remember that there was some tabs underneath here that I was able to hook a couple modules to. Still got a couple hanging out. It's still pretty tight in here. I know I can get my battery in there, but my fuse block is not sitting the way I would like it to. So I have that to deal with. I'm not even going to bother hooking up lights. I don't have a tail light back here, but sometime this week I'm going to try to get up here and get my controls and get all of this stuffed into this headlight bucket where it needs to go, because I did get a lot done this weekend, and a lot more than I figured because that fuse block came in. So going to get this wrapped up next week, during the week, hopefully, and get everything else working on this thing. Maybe, since I have the wiring harness in here, maybe by next week I can do Fire 'em Up Friday with this, which would be interesting because I have actually never heard this motor run. I had 3 XS400s in here at some point last fall and never heard any of them run. I've never heard one run in person, actually. This particular motor came off of a bike that had about 5,500 miles shown on the odometer. It has good compression. I have no reason to believe that it won't run. I've just never heard it run. So maybe next weekend this might happen. I don't know. So for today, I'm signing off. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at 650 Cycle. If you're out riding, ride safe.